guys, today I'm going to show you how I did my wedding makeup. This is a heavy look, it's not me saying how you should do your makeup for your wedding day, but this is how I wanted mine. You can see here that it has stayed put all day, right up until the evening, and that's because I used lots of different layering techniques. So here I have just applied a tan and a setting spray, and the information there you can find in the down bar below. And I'm just applying a Rodial concealer pencil before moving on to my HG palette to contour. I'm placing this in all the usual places for highlighting, just in the triangular area under the eye. I'm also going to take that down the T, down the bridge of the nose, under the chin, on top of the lip, and I like to go just along the side of the lip as well there. And then straight onto that contour, just in the hollows of the cheeks, just in the temples area here, and down the sides of the nose as well. I then just like to take that same brush and just blend ever so slightly where I have applied that darker colour. But when it comes to the nose, I do like to soften this out with my finger and then continue that softening then just underneath the eyes there. I'm now adding a Charlotte Tilbury powder all over the face, and this is just to absorb any shine underneath my foundation, which is the Dream Flawless Nude. And you should really put this on the back of your hand, but as this is just for myself, I do just apply this straight onto the face. And I do know this isn't as hygienic, this is just me being a little bit naughty. I definitely need to clean this sponge, but I'm just going to use the larger end of this to blend all of this in. And I'm smoothing this over all of the contoured and highlighted areas that we've already done. And then layering this foundation again, just on the areas that I feel I need that extra bit of coverage, and using the Beauty Blender to blend that in again. And then taking my MAC Prep and Prime in Light Boost, and I'm going to use this as a highlighter pen and drawing that triangle underneath the eyes, going around the nose and down the darker areas on the side of the mouth. I then use the smaller end of the sponge just to tap all of that into the skin and make sure you've got a really nice blend between your foundation and the concealer. And I highlight just between the brows and down the bridge of the nose, and use the same end of the sponge to blend that in again. I'm then deepening my contour just on the cheeks and the temple areas here, and I'm using a Nars stick and using my Real Techniques brush here just to buff that into the skin, and this just makes sure that this contour really lasts throughout the day. I then take my Rodial pen again and cover that blemish area and any other areas that I like to highlight, and this is normally around the mouth and under the nose. And I just use the warmth of the finger to blend that in there. And taking my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and using the majority of this underneath the eye, and I start with the most product down the outer part of the eye, and whatever is left I take right underneath into the inner corner. And my new favourite, the Charlotte Tilbury powder, I just buff this into the skin to set all of that cream that we have applied. Then taking my favourite bronzer, Nars Laguna, and I'm just going to warm up all of the outer areas of the face, going through the contoured areas, through the temples and along the jawline. And not forgetting to bring some shape back into the nose using a flat brush, still with Nars Laguna. I'm shaping the end of my nose and just down the two sides up towards the start of the brow. Now onto a Ben Nye Blush. I really wanted a peach look for this, so I'm taking a peach colour just on a blusher brush and applying that just above the contour, and then highlighting using the Kevyn Aucoin Candlelight, and I absolutely love this. I put this on the cheekbone, on the brow, just down the nose and on the lip, and move straight on to my Urban Decay Anti-Age Eye Primer, and this is really good. I find this really evens out my skin on my eyes before applying. Just whilst that's setting, I take a Charlotte Tilbury lip pencil and apply this to the outer part of the lips, just changing the shape of my cupid's bow there slightly. And once I've lined the whole of the lip, I tend to go in and colour in the whole of the lip with this as well, and push the product into my lips and apply a layer of my Nars Tolede. I'm not sure if I've said that right, I shall put it in the description bar below. Just one layer of that to push into the lips before applying a second layer, and and sealing in that lasting colour. On to brows then, I'm taking two different colours from the Anastasia Brow Wiz, the first being Ash Blonde, and I start by combing them through, shading in the inner part of my brow with the lighter colour Ash Blonde, and tracing above the brow just to create more of a uniform shape, before moving on to the slightly darker colour in Soft Brown, and I take this from the inner part of the brow underneath and trace a slightly thicker line than I already have, just to thicken up the whole brow. I then go back to the other end of the brush and just brush through the inner part of the brow so they're not so harsh and I've got more of an effect of hairs there instead of the pencil. And then using a Charlotte Tilbury pencil, and this is a Rock and Coal pencil in a very light colour, and I like to highlight underneath the brow with this and then just use a concealer brush just to blend that out. For shadow, I'm then using the WOS from the Naked Basics palette and applying this all over the lid right up into the brow bone, and then going on to the colour Naked 2 and then Faint. So I'm using a round fluffy brush just to brush Naked 2 all the way across the lid, and then taking that darker colour Faint through the crease of the socket, and I'm just softening all of those outer lines using the brush. To make sure all of these colours are blended nicely together, I then take a large fluffy brush and just move this back and forth across the whole of the lid. So underneath the eye I'm using Naked 2 and Faint again, so I'm first of all applying Naked 2, then with a different brush I'm applying Faint just to the outer part of the eye and blending that together with the first brush, and then taking Venus just into the corner of the eye and under the arch of the brow as a highlight to really brighten up these areas. And then using the Rodial Smoky Eye pen in brown, because this is not as harsh as black, just to line along the waterline. And I had totally forgotten to set my brows, I used the Maybelline Brow Drama in medium brown. So for the day I lined my eyes with the L'Oreal Super Liner, and I'm going to create a cat flick eye. And I start at the outer corner of the eye, bringing that up towards the outer part of the eyebrow, and bring that back down then to create a smooth line towards the centre of the lid, before filling that in and continuing the line all the way across the eyelid. Finally, with the eyeliner, I like to elongate the inner part of the eye to continue the cat look, and then use this just on the outer part of the lower lash line. I wanted a soft lash for the day, so I'm taking these Kiss Iconic lashes, and I normally use my Thrive glue, but I couldn't find it, so today I am just using a normal eyelash glue. And I start with the centre of the lash before applying each end. I then seal in the lash using the eyeliner again, and I just go over where the lash meets my skin. And using my Lancome Hypnose mascara, I just begin blending my lashes with the fake lashes. Once I've done this, I take the mascara down onto the lower lashes as well, and taking the same eye pencil that we used to highlight underneath the brow with, and just applying this on the lower waterline. And that's my completed look. I hope you liked it. This was a lot of products, you don't have to do the same, but this is what I wanted to do for my day. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!